Hello friends, my name is Tom. Thank you so much for tuning in. This video is all about Monster Hunter TRI and the start of Gen 3. Monster Hunter TRI is basically as good of a sequel as we'll get. And what do I mean by that? The second game really built off of the first game. It had a lot of the same environments, a lot of the same monsters, but it just added to the first game. Well, the third game is the first time that they decided to make completely new environments, new soundtrack, new monsters, new everything. They even added a new way of fighting. With the popularity of Monster Hunter DOS, they planned a brand new generation which was originally started for the PS3. But with the popularity of the Wii at the time and given how complicated the PS3 was to develop for, Capcom went with the Wii for Monster Hunter TRI. Monster Hunter TRI came out August 1st, 2009 in Japan and April 20th, 2010 in North America. In Japan, a demo of Monster Hunter TRI was attached to the Monster Hunter G port for the Wii. This was just to encourage sales for Monster Hunter TRI and to get a good feel for what the Monster Hunter series on the Wii would feel like. They started Gen 3 from the ground up. In the past, the games were essentially expansions off one another, but this game started over completely fresh. There are no subspecies, and a majority of the monsters are absolutely brand new. There are only 3 returning monsters, which we'll get to. This game is the game that implemented the famed underwater combat. So, the developers of Monster Hunter really thought that there weren't a lot of video games that had really good underwater combat, so they wanted to remedy that and make a game that actually had enjoyable underwater combat. Now, whether or not they actually achieved that is debatable. The whole topic of underwater combat to Monster Hunter to this day is actually still very polarizing. Some people really like it, while another large portion of the community really does not like it. And I tend to venture on the latter. It wasn't really my favorite feature, and honestly, when they took it out in a couple of the other games in Gen 3, it was a lot better. We got a brand new village in this game. It's called the Moga Village, and it is more of like a port-style village. So it's very much like on the water. You have, beachy vibes. Yeah, it's basically Animal Crossing, but, you're playing Monster Hunter. There's fishing, and bug gathering, and all that crap. You just don't get to upgrade your house. That's it. Man, talk about a step backwards from Monster Hunter DOS, right? Woohoo! Moga Village was fine, and it had a farm, which was okay. It did get a few downgrades, which is a little unfortunate, but the farm, for the most part, is intact. Monster Hunter TRI was also online, just like all of the other Monster Hunter main series games, but this online mode was a little different. Anything outside of Japan was actually free to play online, so Europe and North America. However, Japanese players were not so lucky. They had to pay Wii points to play online. So 30 days was about 800 Wii points, 60 days was 1500 Wii points, 90 days 2000 points, so on and so forth. I guess the Japanese were willing to pay for it. It was that good. The online hub had the arm wrestling feature that is so iconic to the series. You can also decorate your house and invite other players in, which is a nice little feature that they gave us. You can add players to your friends list via the online IDs, so you didn't actually have to use the Wii friend code or whatever nonsense that was. Wii Speak, which was an attachment for the Wii that was available in North America and Europe, was supported with Monster Hunter TRI. However, the Japanese version did not support the Wii Speak. They added the wish list in Monster Hunter 3, and it was under the Hunter Notes menu. There are 3 control style variations depending on which of those is your favorite. You can choose from the 3. I believe it is Classic, PSP style, and then just the Wii remotes. This is the first game that elemental damage from monsters can cause secondary status effects. This is the first game that they made monsters react differently to different items as well, so you can put down meats and such, sleep meat, paralysis meat, and such, and monsters will react differently to those. Just like in previous Monster Hunter games, you could fish with a fishing rod if you found a pond or a little stream, but in this game you can actually dive into the water and use a harpoon to fish. Nice little touch considering we can fight underwater, so we may as well be able to fish underwater. This is the first Monster Hunter game where you can actually cook more than one well-done steak at the same time. There is an item called the double BBQ spit that'll let you cook more than one raw meat, or Cha-Cha actually has a special mask that does about the same thing. And who's Cha-Cha, you may be asking? Well, let's talk about Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha is actually your new companion that replaces the feline companion. Sadly. Yes. Well, or maybe you like Cha-Cha, who knows? Cha-Cha was kind of a fun little break from the feline companion system. Although he serves the same purpose as the felines, it's just a little bit of a makeover, if you will. He has an assortment of different masks that help him with various tasks. He's got different masks like the acorn mask, which he just starts with, the grill mask, which acts as a double BBQ spit, the fluffy mask, which can actually track monsters by opening the menu and pressing plus. He can use things like the lamp mask, which acts as a torch to light dark caves, the ancient mask, which will actually supply you oxygen while underwater, and he's even got the false feline mask, which makes him look like a cat, and he uses barrel bombs. So that's pretty fun. On top of the masks, he also has dances that he can do that give you different stat boosts. The developers decided to change resources on the map and how they look. So there are now nodes, so they're easier to find in the game. In the previous games, let's say like a mining spot, for example, was kind of just like a slit in a rock, and you would kind of really have to know what you were looking for. Now there are nodes, which are these separate points that stick out that are very obvious for you to mine off of. And not only are there mining spots, but there are gathering areas which are much more obvious as well, and they don't blend into the environment like they used to. They stick out a bit more, which is helpful to new players and to old players alike. You can also now use pickaxes and bug nets pressing A at the gathering point. Ah! Finally! You no longer have to hold L, find the item, then press square. Oh gosh, it just automatically uses a pickaxe or a net right when you walk up to a gathering point if you have it. Okay, so the next one's not really the craziest change in the world, but in the old games there was a message when something disappeared while you were gathering it that would say, "There is nothing else here." And that was probably one of the worst feelings in the world. Well, they took that out. Thank God. Now it doesn't say anything. So you don't have to feel as bad. They also changed some of the monster's AI, so a monster, when it now gets tired or exhausted, it'll eat a meat that you place down, or a paralysis meat, or whatever meat that you choose. It'll actually eat that meat mid-fight. However, in the older games, you'd have to go undetected for the monster to... I'm tired of saying that like that, but yeah, you'd have to go undetected for it to eat the meal that you provided for it. And another awesome brand new feature in Monster Hunter TRI is that it's the first game to include an option for free hunting, where there is no death penalty, no time limit, and no quest sign-up. In return, there's no rewards, but this is one of the best ways to gather supplies quickly. Also, you can only go to one area. I believe you can only go to the starting area, but, you know, hey, it's at least something. It's a push in the right direction. Here's a list of the new monsters that they added into Monster Hunter TRI. We got the Agnactor, Barioth, Baroth, Deviljo, Giganox, Gobel, Great Baggy, Great Jaggy, Lagricus, Quirpeco, Royal Ludroth, Uragon, Elatrion, Ciatis, and Genmaron. They also gave us a brand new skeleton for a monster, the Leviathan skeleton, which is used by the flagship monster of the game, the Lagricus. Old monsters that they brought back were the Rothian, Rothalos, and Diablos, and all three of them got new moves as well. All monsters now have a stamina level, so they can all become exhausted, and monsters now react to environmental conditions as well as other monsters on the field. Yes, they probably all double team and still try and gangbang you, but at least they react to each other as well as the environment. And as always, in a new Monster Hunter game, we got new maps. They didn't reuse any of the old maps. We got completely new maps this time around. We got the Deserted Isle, the Sandy Plains, the Flooded Forest, the Tundra, and the Volcano. They made some large weapon choices or decisions in this game. They took out the hunting horn, the dual blades, the gun lance, and the bow. They gave us one new weapon, which was the switch axe, but they also gave us many weapon improvements for the older weapons, like customization options for the bowgun, interchangeable stock, barrel, and frame additions, as well as other minor improvements for other weapons. We also got armor changes. You can upgrade armor from low rank to high rank. Doing so uses less materials than making them. So it gives you the option, instead of making a high rank set, you can upgrade your low rank set into a high rank set. Kind of a cool feature. Briefly, I'd like to touch on Loc Lac Village, which is the online village for Monster Hunter TRI. It is no longer available, the servers have been shut down, but it is a really beautiful looking online hub and town, and honestly it is a shame that we can't go there anymore, but it is really nice to know that they offered something so unique and so cool. Really briefly, I did mention that you cannot upgrade your house, but if you were able to get back online to Loc Lac Village, then you could actually get an upgradable house through leveling up your HR. So HR like 1 through 14, you get a room. 14 through 39, you get a slightly better room. And at HR 40, you actually receive the best room that you can get, and you can invite people in and decorate it and whatnot. But because Loc Lac is no longer available, that is also gone with the times. Well, friends, that is all the information I have on the changes from Generation 2 to Generation 3 in Monster Hunter TRI. And if you like the video, please, please, please share it with a friend. I'm a brand new YouTube channel, so any help that you can give me is greatly appreciated. Please also leave this a like, because that does help out the algorithm. And if you did enjoy it, then please subscribe. And I got the whole series coming out very soon. This is part 5, and we got more coming. Thanks again, friends. Take care.